life has got very sensitive stages. And when people say life is short, I agree in the sense that life has got very few stages. That is why it is short. You can live up to 120 years. You can live up to 70 years. But it still has very few stages. And at every stage in life, we have opportunities. And there are opportunities that when you miss them, you cannot recover them. I think the only opportunity that is permanent in life all throughout the years that you can recover, even when you are 120, is just the opportunity of believing in Jesus Christ. It's just the opportunity of eternal life. And that's an eternal blessing. But if we talk about the opportunities of this life, they all go with age. What you are able to do now, you will not be able to do when you are 50. Even how people take you now and perceive of you now, they will not look at you the same. The opportunities and chances that people give you today, they can never give you later in years to come. They will not give you these opportunities. That is how life is. Opportunities go with age. You see, what should never be forgotten, I feel so much, is that opportunities go with age. There are times that we feel we can recover certain things. And I feel that the worst part of humanity is not knowing what opportunities you will not have tomorrow. See, usually we would have opportunities come our way, and sometimes we don't even understand whether this is an opportunity or not. Usually people don't even understand this is an opportunity or not. And even at the edge at which you are, you look at yourself and even ask yourself to say, will I be able to have these opportunities tomorrow? Even the body refuses to give birth to no more children at a certain age. And you see, we are being told by medical doctors, and it is. So if you ask me, why do you think most men, even if they are 60, they would want to marry someone in the 20s? Fresh blood, can bear children, they're active, and can give birth to no more children. So that is an opportunity itself. The body, the way you are now, the strength that your body has, is an opportunity to certain works that you should engage yourself in doing now, which you will not be able to do later on. And again, you see, if only we can also pay attention to how long it takes to build something, would start things early, would engage into implementing our ideas early. Because your ideas now, there are people that would listen to you and say, wow, a young man thinking like this, a young woman thinking like this is brilliant. Then we come in and let's support this young man. Now, if you're old and having those ideas, some people would say, where were you? Where were you Is this the time that you get to have such ideas? So opportunities go with age. And the mistake that we make, I feel, is that at times we wait for uncertainties. As uncertainties, let me say, I have something that I want to do, but it's dependent on somebody else. And it's dependent on somebody else changing, or somebody else favoring me, or somebody else. Like, I'm waiting on somebody for me to do certain things. Those are uncertainties, because I don't know what is in the mind of that person. I do not know. Instead of letting age pass me by and lose certain opportunities because I'm waiting on somebody, I must engage. We must engage. Because at the time you maybe realize that now, okay, the person I was waiting on has kind of changed and has come back to being normal, I'll find that my time has passed. There are certain things I cannot do with an old man. You understand? Say I'm waiting on a man to tame and come back to normal. He comes back an old man. There's nothing that I can do with an old man. I'm waiting for a woman to change. She comes back later on. You see, that's why when you look at the wisdom of Solomon, you can see the greatness in it. In Proverbs 5, it says, enjoy with the wife of thy youth. He says the wife of thy youth, because he understands that you can only enjoy the pleasures of marriage when you're still young. You can experiment. You can do styles in bed and all those things, if we can talk about them. See, most of these things that we're looking at are not starting now. They were there even before. So people think that when they talk about the dog style, talk about the missionary position, okay, I leave it there. It was there before. It's called the missionary position. When was the name missionary, term missionary coined? So it was coined long ago, you see. So I think we really need to understand these things, because we also need to pay attention to the demands of the body now. So if I talk about opportunities to do with, for instance, relationships, you also look at the body. The body keeps aging. You cannot renew it. You cannot renew the strength of the body, this flesh. You can't renew it. You can't renew the strength of this body. You can't say, I'll be going to the gym, because even going to the gym requires strength. You cannot take an old man to the gym. You're killing him to go and give him some weights to lift the dumbbells. You'll be killing him. So with time, the strength of the body weakens. It gets to weaken. It goes low. See, wisdom is learning from nature and also being able to learn from history. When you look at human life, one of the things I have learned even from my father is he had very good opportunities. The opportunities of being rich. And yes, he was once upon a time one of the rich men on the copper belt. Now, when he lost the monies and all that he had, do you know that he did not know he could lose those things? Because in the moment when he had those things, actually it never occurred to him that he may lose them. And that is what happens with many of us. In the moment when we have certain things, little does it occur to us in that very moment that this thing, you can lose it. If you do not learn how to keep it, how to develop it, how to, what you can do to really, really, really make it grow, we get to lose that. Now, the ideas that he used to have and things that he would say and people move along or go along with, today he can't do that. Why? People are looking first at his age. So what at this age? So the ideas that one gets to have also go with the age. So what if I come in to support you at this age? I think the only job that you can ever have at some age, I think, is that of a president. At some age, beyond retirement age, I think people would still give you work at 75 as a president, because maybe they are looking at you as a father. But with companies, if they don't give you a consulting job, I don't think they would give someone on a full-time basis. So life has got very short stages. That's why life is short. Very short stages. If you take me to ballet now, my body will refuse. You'll be breaking me. You'll be breaking my bones, you'll be breaking my legs. And you know how it feels like when you have missed an opportunity in life and you're trying to recover it. It's hard work. It's stressful. It's nerve-wracking. It breaks you. That is why many people are frustrated today. Do you know why? It is because they are trying to achieve something they should have achieved long ago. So they're trying to get something they should have gotten long ago. Now, if you listen to these words and you are young, they should make you reflect on your life right now and begin to ask yourself very intriguing questions, very critical questions, such as, what opportunities do I have now? What opportunities do I have now? Let me give an example also of this. There is a situation, I went to northern province, I think should be Mpulungu, years back. There was this man, there was a couple, I've told you about this before, a couple, and this man was working. As he was working in the agricultural sector, he did not at any point ever think of what would be of his life. When he retired, he had not prepared his work. When he retired with 5 children. And after retiring with 5 children, he went and bought a farm. And I felt pity for him. He went and bought a farm, and he would go in with the workers to do the farming. He was narrating his experience at the farm to me, and I felt like crying. He was narrating how painful his body would be. I mean, the pain that he had to, to inflict on himself. Now, the word to inflict on himself, because at that time now he's looking at it that he's punishing himself. Do you know why? He missed the right time of entry into farming. So he could not work it out. He missed the right age of entry into farming so as to get the body used. I know you understand farming. You understand these things. And so it agrees with what I actually said, that when you miss the right age of entry into doing something, you will be frustrated. It will be so painful because certain things require you to grow with them. Certain things require that you grow with them so that your body is used at a tender age. Look, I take Michelle to go and start ballet. At your age, she will be, let's say she reaches your age, she'll still be flexible and be able to do all sorts of things. Now, at your age, we take you to do ballet. Now, it would be like you're inflicting pain on your body. Why?
I'm flexible.
You have not grown with those things. When you miss the right entry, the right time into entering into something, it becomes horrible. That's why the wise man Solomon in Ecclesiastes 3 wrote to say that he makes, talking about God, that he makes all things beautiful in its time. In its time, the thing itself, in its time. Look at a woman, for instance. Let's look at the cycle of a woman. A woman only has up to a certain period of being attractive. When that period is gone, the chances and opportunities of having to choose from among many men that are approaching disappears. Now, it moves from choosing what I would like to I want to be called Mrs. And so, whichever is available. I always say this. You know, it takes compromise to enjoy something that you missed. Now, what this means is, if I miss my time, and I'll take an example of a woman so as to give a clear example. If a woman misses a prime time of getting married or being in a marriage, because even marriage is a life, you begin to grow with it. It's a life. So when you miss even that, we miss the right age of entry into marriage, you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to feel frustrated because there's certain things you will not be able to do. A young couple can walk holding hands and doing that. Yes, I know that there's certain old couples that do that, right? But there are certain people who feel like, no, it's not our thing. I mean, we've grown, we can't do this. You understand? So when you look at a woman, for instance, in a prime time, it's the right time. So all things are beautiful at that time. Now, if she doesn't get into marriage at that very time, that prime time will pass. And when it passes, it will no longer be about her choosing which one, because there are not many proposals coming. It will be so much on, let me just be called Mrs. Somebody, so that this shame goes away from me. So the times that are very good opportune times for certain things, I am privileged being a prophet and a pastor who meets so many people, I am privileged to see the future. How? I see it in people. I meet people who are way older, who are grandmothers, and I've met so many who have come to me and said, I saw the signs when we just started. I saw the signs when we just had one child, but I thought we'll just pray over it and it will go. This is reality. So now I am looking at a woman who is in a stage or at a point of no return. Life is just like that. In life, there is a point of no return where you feel like if I go back, I come out of this, where will I go? I will not enter into anything. There are no available boats. Life is a journey so much that it's like you moving with a vehicle. You're on a bus. Let's put it, you're on a bus. You're on a bus that is going somewhere very far. And as you're moving, you find that as you're moving, you begin to contemplate to say, should I jump off the bus and get back? Should I jump off the bus and get back? Should I jump off the bus and get back? Now, you feel like, okay, I think, okay, it's going to be okay. Then when the bus travels a way that is very far, you stop seeing the vehicles that, you could have jumped off the bus and then get on another vehicle to take you back so you can restart your journey. That's just life. Age. Because of age, many would say, if I leave this man, where will I go? Where will I go? Again, people say, I've met many who've told me, let me stay for children's sake. But when did you realize, or when did you see signs? When I just had one. Others before the children. They saw it. Some of these things we look at are very key to the future. See, every opportunity presented that life presents to you comes through people. And people are not permanent. See, even on marriage, on the day of making vows, people know that the marriage is not permanent. They say, till death do us. So meaning one day, they'll still leave you. You'll still be alone. Every person we meet in life, they are not permanent. If there's anything that we can learn from them, we learn from them whilst they're still around. If there's anything we can do with them, we do with them whilst they're still around. Because no person is permanent in our lives. No one is permanent. There was a time we were in school, we had friends, very good friends. We were close. A time came when they could no longer be with us because it was time to move on. If you want to move on in life, what do? You change environment, you change people. You can never move on in life without having to change these two things. Environment, people. You can never move on. We are in Lusaka today and we are doing work. We are not in Kitwe. When we were in Kitwe, we had a great company of people. But there came a time that we needed to leave them for us to experience another level of life. If we had stayed in that environment, nothing was going to change. If we had held on to those people, nothing was going to change. Things or life, you see, does not change if we just hold on to certain people. We've got to change people and life changes. We've got to change environments and something happens to us. Something changes around us. To have a whole new life, meet new people and be flexible to learning. Now, not forgetting one important thing, opportunities go with age. Opportunities go with age. The writer Solomon said, the glory of the youth is in their strength, and the glory of the old is in their gray hair, that is, in their wisdom. So what an old man can only do is share his or her life experiences and tell you, the young one, to say, you know what? We tried this thing that you're doing. You are hitting the block. And that is why I've always told myself that it would be foolishness to learn things through experience that I should have learned by just listening to words of wisdom. It is foolishness. There are certain things in life that even though we argue with, they are so true that we cannot change them. You know, David used to tell Solomon that these words, my words, keep them. My son, keep my words. Why? He had the experience, so his wisdom was in the experience. How does a young man or a young woman get wisdom? Is by listening to words of the old, the elderly people. I would rather take the warning of someone than try to challenge it with what I'm thinking is faith. And that is one of the reasons I feel many believers today are so lost. I would rather listen to the elderly and follow through with the parts of what they're telling me, their warnings. It's like someone has reached the other end and you're walking, you want to go there, and this man and woman is telling you that this is how my life was like. I saw signs like A, B, C, D. And I'm also seeing the same signs. But I'm telling myself, no, I have faith. God is going to. I would be so foolish, because what about them that have reached on the other side? Didn't they have the same faith? Am I looking at myself as having more faith than they do? This is wisdom. The giving wisdom. We can't replace wisdom with any other thing as a prayer or something. Wisdom is in listening. Wisdom is in listening. And like I said, the old glory in the wisdom, just like the writer's written, because they have seen many years. They can tell you, if you want to live up to where I am, this is what it is. This is what you should do. The Bible says in Ephesians 5, honor thy mother and father. For this is the first commandment with a promise, that all may go well with you and that you may have many years. Many years. Oh, go well with you. So, things to go well with us in life is not in prayer. The Bible shows us. It is in listening. We honor. How do you honor? When parents speak to us, and parents may be even people who have gone ahead of us, when they speak to us and they tell us the way to go, I honor the words. I'm like, wow, okay. And then I walk in them. Things will go well with me. I will have many years to come. The Bible says in Proverbs that in wisdom, in the right hand of wisdom is life. And in the left hand, riches and wealth. So long life is in the right hand of wisdom. So that's the strength of wisdom. It gives us long life. That is the strength of listening and honoring our parents' words. It gives us everything goes well. The last part of it all is there are certain decisions when we make, there's no return. So if you are at a stage where in life where you can reverse certain decisions or come out of certain things or stop certain things and start afresh, the wisest thing to do is to stop and start afresh. Because the time comes when stopping and starting afresh can never happen. Can never happen. It's just like wasting away. Let me give an example of what I hear old people come to tell me when they are complaining about their marriages. See, they tell me, but where would I go? My parents are no more. If I leave this man, where do I go? My parents are no more. And this is a person who's telling you, I saw this from the beginning. Sometimes we underestimate certain things. Sometimes we put our trust in men, thinking that certain things will change. You know what? Opportunities go with age. Someone will have an opportunity to be happy. It goes with age. And remember that there's certain things, you miss the entry age, you've missed it all. You miss the entry age of starting something, you've missed it all. For instance, farming, you can never start when you're old. You will never do it. The body is not up to it. It hasn't grown with it. You can't start it when you're old. You'll be feeling like you're inflicting pain on yourself, on your body. So, the question is that we must reflect on every day is, at my age, what must I start now and grow with that I will not be able to start in the future? At my age, what are some of the signs of things that I've engaged in that I need to be real with myself and just say, I must quit this before it's too late, because I will not come out of this very thing but just sacrifice my whole life to living with pain because I've got nowhere to go. You know, parents and others who are around to help us, those are opportunities for us to start afresh. If I miss it now, I can go back to my parents and start afresh. And they help me start afresh. If I miss it on this, I have brothers around, sisters around, I can ask for help to start afresh. But should we miss it in future? No one will come. Everyone will tell you, I've got children, they are grown, I need to take care of them. I can't sponsor you in this, I can't come in on this. So we must know when is the right time for something, and always remember that there's age, opportunities go with age, and there's an entry point for certain things in life. When you miss the entry point, you will not enjoy it. You will not harvest the fruit of this very thing. That is, life is short because the stages or the doors of entry into doing certain things in life with your age are few. Those doors are few.